We didn't even know it existed until, what, 2 months ago?
Speak for yourself, Mike. So...
All right. I didn't know it existed until 2 months ago.
So, no, we didn't. We didn't know.
I know Brenden didn't know. Brenden... The thing Brenden doesn't know could fill several books.
Mike,
you can speak for yourself, but it's definitely factual. So.
I am very versed in geology, okay?
For the audio listeners, Brendan's just sitting there smiling to himself.
This podcast
I want to make sure, I want everyone to know that. Brendan said that, and he was like, he gave himself a little smirk. Like,
huh? That's a good joke, right? I'm stupid. Anyways.
This podcast rocks.
See, there you go. That's common.
Hold on, you're gonna give Dom that when he already said it once.
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure the listeners heard.
The listeners need to hear.
Michael's over talking over me.
Yep.
Mike hates everything. Anyways, so last night I was streaming Knockout City for a while, and I was like, oh, I need to order some food because I haven't fucking eaten anything in like basically all day. So I ordered something off Uber Eats, probably at like 11 o'clock. 12:30 rolls around and it still says preparing food. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. 1 o'clock rolls around, no food. So then I reach out to customer service and I'm like, if the food still exists, like I want the food, because at this point I won't be able to order food from anywhere else. So like I definitely want this food, but can you verify if this food exists? Because I'm starving. And they were like, yeah, no, this is what we'll do. The food's still coming. It'll be there at 1:30. And we'll give you
1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and we'll give you half the thing discounted. I'm like, sure. I said sure, no problem. And then it immediately closed. Like the Uber Eats closed the conversation and said order canceled. I was like, what the fuck? So
yeah, why would they? Are they usually delivering at 1:30 in the morning? Is that even a thing?
I mean, if the restaurants are open and shit,
if
I mean,
the
why
restaurant
not?
is open, and I've been down that road before.
What time did you order it at?
I think at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want the food at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I needed to eat something. I had a couple drinks. I didn't have any food, and I'm like, well, I need to fucking eat something. So
where I ordered something at 11 at night from a fast food restaurant probably, and for a long time it says like preparing order or whatever, and then I'm like, it takes so long that I'm just like, is this coming or should I order from someplace else while this window's still open? And I forget, at least one of those occasions I ordered from a second place and then both food orders showed up, or there was a time where, you know, it eventually got canceled and I had to talk to customer support and it was a whole thing. Yeah,
I don't know if I'd go that route, Mike, of like ordering a second like backup food. That seems a little...
It wasn't ordering a second backup food. It was just like, I think this restaurant's closed now. There's no way they're going to send me my food if it still says preparing order. It was like I was ordering from the McDonald's down the street that I know closes at midnight, and it was, you know, 12:30 and the food had not arrived. It was.
I don't know. I'm skeeved out by the idea of Uber Eats. Like, Amanda's told me so many stories about how some of the drivers are the sketchiest fucking people ever that come into Cheesecake. That, like, I just don't think I would ever trust these fucking people to not touch my food or fucking...
okay, Todd, counterpoint for you. Do you just not order any takeout food anywhere from any place? Because it's just people putting food in their car. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Uber Eats or someone that works at the place.
I don't do too much takeout. Yeah, I don't. I pretty much never. Yeah. But
all right, so I mean, you just don't like takeout.
Told me some like fucked up stories about like some of the drivers that have come in, like all cracked out, or like, you know, like a couple of them have called her a fucking cunt to her face, like at the door and shit. Like, yeah, like I wouldn't trust these people handling my food. I don't think, especially going into someone's car. I don't know what fucking this person's car is like. It's like, yeah, I'm all set. I would never trust people. Period.
I mean, what's this? Who's to say the person cooking the food isn't fucking grabbing their balls and flipping your fucking pizza?
I have more experience with the restaurant side of things, you know. Like, I mean,
and you know how bad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say this: like, before I went into restaurants, I always assumed it was like, yeah, they spit in your food. And, like, I never witnessed.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's doing that. I also don't think a delivery driver is like reaching in your bag and fucking blowing his nose in your hamburger.
Grabbing a couple fries from McDonald's.
Yeah.
No, I will say a lot of
on the seat.
A lot of places that I order food from purposely staple the bag shut or like they put something over it to be
Stickers.
like, hey, no one's opening this.
There's a lot of
Counterpoint,
stickers.
Counterpoint, what if the dude has a stapler in his car?
I mean, then he's fucking a baller, and he's playing on a different playing field. He's got a big brain. He deserves the French fries. I'm sorry, he deserves the French fries. If he's driving around with a fucking stapler and a roll of stickers that match the restaurant, congratulations. Eat my food, please. You deserve it. Like, I'm sorry. You're up here. You're fucking Rick. I'm down here. I'm Morty. Like, two different fucking wavelengths.
I just feel like to-go food never travels well, so that's why I don't really like getting to-go food that much in general. Like, there's very few.
Depends what you order, I think.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss.
I don't know. I mean, I order like pizza's fine. Like I order things that I think are like I get a sub or something. Like I'm not worried about it. I don't know if I'd order necessarily like fucking pancakes to go. I don't think that would necessarily be the best thing.
Yeah, they don't travel well.
Unless you're like I last 2 weekends ago, I was like, we haven't been Ugly Mug in like well over a year at this point. So I went and picked up Ugly Mug to go, and surprisingly, like, granted, I went there when it was like ready and then drove right home. So it was like a very quick, not like sitting in someone's car for, an extra 30 minutes or something. So it was, it actually held pretty well. Pancakes.
It's all about that. It's all about that steam and like.
Yeah. So it's quick. It depends how quick you are. I mean, if you're getting takeout food and that person's delivering 3 other stops before you, that's an extra, how long? 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Who knows?
Yeah.
And just that steam is just making everything nice and soggy. Anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about fast food and delivery too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself. He's so fucking money and he doesn't even know it. Mr. Michael Lazier. Mike, how are you doing over there, Mr. Three Face?
What's 3 times?
Yeah, like Paul saying every time we talk.
Yeah. Oh.
You were gonna say something. You were gonna say what's 3 times?
3 times meh. No, that was the end of the thought. Don't worry about it.
So it's just meh. You have to do it though, Mike. I can't do it for you.
No, I think you got it under control.
Anyways,
You nailed it.
also joining us is the monster hunter, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I just dived back into Monster Hunter the other day.
Like a new
I
update.
keep on. Yeah, but you have to be like a certain level to do it. So like, I feel like a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to see these new monsters, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, my hunter rank's not even near that.
Yeah. Rounding us out. I gotta fix the camera. Todd a little bit to the side. I'm just gonna fix that. Rounding us out this evening. No, stop. What are you doing now? Is the Disney daddy, Dominic 40 Dom. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Got to watch some Haunted Mansion this month.
Oh boy.
Excited to hear you guys' thoughts.
I'm not excited to have my brain linger on that.
When did you watch it, Brenden? Recently or no?
Yeah, I watched it this week at some point.
Could not get Liam to sit through like 15 minutes of it, so I had to watch it at night. He was just like,
it was a movie. It was a movie, all right. But I got some surprising facts about the movie. Actually, we'll get into it shortly.
Whoa! Brian did research.
I mean, I usually do get a little bit of stuff. I mean, I didn't do it for Hereditary or Mission Impossible because I don't. What? Like, why are we picking those movies?
Yeah, Hereditary was like probably the best one because there's so many like hidden meanings in that movie and everything. You probably should.
Yeah, no, I did do research on Hereditary, and it's not this. We're not going down to Hereditary. I'm not talking about Hereditary. Anyways, before we get into this, a few housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass Control Podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and you want yourself something sweet, something hot and tasty right out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can head on over to their social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, delicious cookies. And if you're like me and sometimes you need a little pick-me-up, something sweet, something hot, something spicy in the morning on a Sunday morning, you can head on over to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a Chubby. And let me tell you, as someone who doesn't really like eggs and doesn't eat eggs, I fuck with Chubbies. I fuck with Chubbies hard. They are very good, very tasty. Little pockets freshly made. And Todd's laughing because I said I fuck with chubbies hard. I don't know.
Yes.
Whatever. They're tasty. I don't care. I'll stand by it. So check them
Mike,
out.
you just opening your eyes to make it like bigger to make that happen, or
Oh,
what's going on?
I don't know what's controlling this. I forgot this filter was on.
Yeah, it's kind of wacky.
They get real big.
It's
Right.
it's very bizarre. So check them out. If you head on down, let them know Past the Controller sent you. A couple of housekeeping things before we roll into it. We'll talk about it a little bit on the show today, but I also put up a written review as well as a video review for ForeVR Bowl, which is a new Oculus Quest exclusive bowling game, which, again, we'll talk about it a little bit more on the podcast later after we talk about the movies. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So you can check out on our website at pastthecontroller.io my written review, or go to our YouTube channel and check out the video review. Those are both available for you now. I will be a guest on a show this weekend, so look for that next week. Actually, there'll be 2 guest podcast appearances next week, so I will look for those. You can follow me at bgroom, and I will share those if you are interested in seeing me appear on someone else's show. And yeah, I played through the first hour of Biomutant, so I will be uploading the first hour of Biomutant onto our YouTube channel as well this weekend. So you can look forward to that. If you missed the Twitch stream, you can check that out. And later in the month, or I guess next month, because the month is over, I will be having some more thoughts on Biomutant, which you can look forward to. But anyways, it's time to get into it. The PTC Movie Club for May is over. It was Dom's pick, and he chose, unfortunately for all of us,
A fantastic flick.
Eddie Murphy's The Haunted Mansion, which I hope Dom doesn't stick with this theme of Disney ride movies.
Oh no, I'm excited.
I've already got the next one picked out.
So if
What else is there?
if you stick with this theme, does this mean we're going to eventually watch Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, because I said only bad ones. So
Oh,
at some
okay.
point,
I consider that movie bad.
Oh no, Pirates is fucking
The
great.
first one's a good one.
Johnny
the first one's good.
Depp as Jack Sparrow
Even the
is
second
so
one was
good.
pretty good. Even the second one was pretty good.
Those movies, like, it's I mean, maybe my opinion would change these days, but when I saw it, like, the choreography of, like, we're fighting and doing this, it was like too, like, kid friendly for me, and I just couldn't get into it.
I
And
mean,
the
it's a
whole time
fucking
I'm
Disney
like,
movie.
I'm like,
They're fucking pirates.
But they're fighting pirates. They can't die. Why are they fighting? Just run away all the time. Like, well, I don't understand why they're stabbing dead pirates already. It's not like they're gonna fucking die.
Spoiler alert.
I'm confused where
That is how one of them dies.
Jack Sparrow is also already dead, and yes, that is how one of them dies.
Wait, do you learn that though? Like in the first movie or no?
Yeah, the end of the movie, you find out that Jack are also cursed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just like the movie.
Spoilers. Anyways, so
It's not going to be one of my movies. So.
who wants to kick off talking about? Actually, I want to start it here. Unless someone wants to really get into it,
I want to find out these facts that you've got.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was curious because I thought this film was just not good. And then it made me think, like, all right, how did this perform in the box office? Like, how does a movie like this do? Is this considered a success for Disney?
I don't think it did well, if I remember correctly.
Well,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
let's find out, Todd. With a budget of $90 million, domestic, it did $75 million. International, did 106.
Not good then.
I mean, it doubled its budget when you
Yeah,
factor
like,
in
typically for a film, you want to double your budget, actually triple your budget.
You want to double it domestically, I believe,
'Cause
right?
You have to count for marketing too. It's not
Yeah.
just how much it costs to make, but also marketing.
And that movie came out when Eddie Murphy was like not making good movies. Like it was, which hasn't been in a long time. Anyways,
It was
but, like,
it was same time period as Daddy Daycare, I believe.
okay. Yeah. That makes
So,
sense. Yeah.
so I want to put this into even, I guess, more perspective for you. I don't think this is necessarily considered a flop, or at least it's not even in Disney's bottom tier releases. I pulled up a list of the 15 worst.
Well, we
Disney
know what the
movies.
last one is.
What's the last
Right.
one?
Mike?
Is it Tron?
No, it's got to be John Carter.
Oh, that's
Nope.
right. I forgot that was.
It is
them.
not. I mean, I can quickly run through these. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time had a budget of $200 million.
Oh, that was Disney?
It only did $336 million. Sorcerer's Apprentice had $150 million budget. It did $215. Home on the Range, $110 million budget, did $103. Return to Oz, 28 million, did 11 million. Meet the Deedles, couldn't tell you what that is.
I don't know half of these movies.
Budget 24 million, box office 4.4 million. I wonder what the Deedles are up to now.
Yeah, what are the Deedles?
Around the World in 80 Days did budget of 110, did 72. Treasure Planet, budget of 140, did 109. John Carter, budget 263.7, box office 284.1.
Wait a second. Can we just go back to Meet the Deedles for a second?
Sure. That's
It's
Todd's next pick.
Paul Walker, Dennis Hopper, it's like, and look at the movie poster for it. Like, I'm very confused by what it is.
I don't know. This blurb on this website, on this article on Screen Rant.
Robert Englund's also in it. That's the dude who plays Freddy, by the way.
This blurb here on Screen Rant for this movie says critics called the movie a poor man's Dumb and Dumber.
So John Carter was a $200 million write-down for Disney, one of the biggest box office bombs in history.
It had good actors in it too.
It had good
Wasn't,
actors.
William Dafoe in it?
I don't know if it was. Who was the lead?
Taylor
The guy-
Kitsch,
Taylor Kitsch.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was not.
Mark Strong, Dominic West, Willem Dafoe.
I actually thought the movie didn't look that bad when I saw a trailer. I never cared
It didn't
to see
look
it, but
bad, and it's weird that it did so poorly.
it's
Maybe not
based
weird.
off of is it based off a book or something? Because I feel
Yeah,
like
the guy that
was-
wrote Tarzan, he also wrote
Oh.
John Carter of Mars, if I recall correctly. So yeah, it was a huge disappointment in the box office. They were gonna make sequels and stuff.
The guy that wrote Tarzan.
What did I
Did you
say?
say Tarzan?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought you said something else. And the book is called The Princess of Mars.
According to the Screen Rant article, in order for this movie to break even, it would have had to have done 600 million, and it did 284. Moving closer to the top of this list, The Lone Ranger, 225 million. It did 260.
I still don't understand that. Like, I don't understand why they ever thought that movie was a good idea. Like,
They're riding on that Johnny Depp hype train. He fucking
Yeah, but-
Pirates
but-
Pirates
but-
are
but-
did
but-
fucking gangbusters. Pirates were
Not even so much
huge
him, though.
successes.
But like, no one knows what the fuck the Lone Ranger is. Like, my dad was big into the Lone
Todd,
Ranger. He's
Pirates of the
fucking 75
Caribbean.
right now.
No one was like,
Yeah,
it's just a
but
fucking
that's
ride.
a ride at Disney World, though. But like, yeah, but like the Lone Ranger, like literally, like no one.
I think
fucking-
that's
it
what
was a great-
makes.
They
I
were
think
still
it's-
trying to capitalize on the nostalgia trend of
Yeah, I would
Miami Vice and all those movies.
I would argue that
Yeah.
like they were trying to go for the same thing, where it's like this is a movie about pirates, this is a movie about Native Americans, or I don't even know what the Lone Ranger is about. It's about Native Americans. I don't even know.
No, it's
Not really,
it's
no.
about a cowboy.
Yeah.
Cowboy. Yeah, I would say that it was largely. I would say there's a lot of movies that they make remakes of, or they make new properties of, using an old title that's not necessarily obscure, but definitely the marketed audience is going to be people that have never heard of it before, and it's like, oh, this looks cool, and then you might be able to drag along people that are familiar with the old property, like, oh, what did they do with it now? Like, I'm sure
Wild
someone
Wild
out there-
West.
Wild Wild West was what I was going to say. Wild Wild
Yeah.
West.
And with the Lone
No.
Ranger too, that movie came out at a point when everyone's like, "Oh, Johnny Depp's still playing the same fucking character over
But
and
it was
over
still
again."
working. That was the thing. It was
No,
it was on the
that-
tail
that
end of
wasn't
it
working.
working, but it was
So when you
still-
say it's not working, Disney looks at the fucking money that's coming in. If the
Yeah,
money's
he
coming
did-
in, then it's working.
He did that Tim Burton movie before that, like based on a TV show, like he was playing like the same character and like.
Why are
it
you
wasn't
shaking your
working.
head, Dom?
Because he said, yeah, he did that Tim Burton movie before that, and I'm like, that's like all of the movies that he's
That's
done
all
for the
Tim
last
Burton
15
No,
years.
oh yeah, sorry. No, but it was based off a TV show where he was like a vampire and everything, and he was playing the same character again. I forget what it was called.
Yeah.
And it was,
Was
like,
it What We
and
Do in
everyone-
Shadows?
No. Yeah,
No.
it was amazing.
Oh,
and
Sweeney
it wasn't.
yeah. What was it?
No, but that was also a Johnny Depp and Tim Burton movie, I believe.
Yes. Yep. And that movie was actually pretty good.
Yeah. What was the name of that?
I don't know what it's called.
I have no idea.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. We're taking too much.
No,
time.
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
move on from this. No one cares. We get it. Todd hates Johnny Depp apparently.
I do. I used to love him, and I think he's.
Todd hates a lot of things.
I think Johnny Depp, like Pirates of the Caribbean, was like top notch, and then anything after that, I fucking. could care less.
Hold on, you need to change your. Listen,
No,
Pirates of the
that can be
Caribbean
his
is a
opinion,
good
but
movie.
But Todd needs to acknowledge the fact that the Pirates of the Caribbean films were extremely popular because of Johnny
Oh no,
Depp.
no, no, no! I'm well
Yeah.
aware that they're popular and
Okay.
they did really well. Yeah, no, I don't have any.
I mean, I would argue that like the three main characters were all pretty popular at that point. Orlando Bloom and is it Keira Knightley or was it someone else?
It was Keira Knightley.
I mean, Johnny Depp obviously the star there, but I mean Orlando Bloom, I think definitely at the bare minimum pulled people in because of Lord of the Rings. Like,
Yep.
I mean, I don't really know. I don't know him from anything else.
The movie doesn't
but-
work without Johnny Depp, though.
No, for sure. No,
100%.
he carries that movie. The way he plays that character as just like a drunken pirate is, I think for all the movies I've seen Johnny Depp in, I think that's his best acting role. I think he plays that role so fucking good. I don't know why you're dropping your jaw, Todd.
Yeah, but
Fear and Loathing. Fear and Loathing is.
I don't know.
his best movie.
Yeah, but Brennan hasn't seen that.
No, I know.
I've seen
He's in the movies that he's
I
seen.
have seen most of that movie, and it's fine. That's what you think Johnny Depp's best acting role is, Todd? Is Fear and
I'd have to
Loathing?
think about it, but that's like one of his best. I mean,
I'm sure I haven't seen enough Johnny Depp movies to make that call, but I will say that the way that he acts in that role of Jack Sparrow, at least in the first 3 movies, is like a very memorable, very good role. Like, I think that's a good role. Like, I think I would argue that that's like, I'm not going to argue anymore. We're going to move on from that. Anyways,
He's a great character.
it's fantastic. It's great. I think it's great.
Much like Eddie Murphy in Haunted Mansion.
We'll see about that. I want to finish this list off though.
Remembers of Evers and Evers the Realty?
I want to finish this list and then we'll get to that movie. Tomorrowland budget of 190, box office 209.
I did want to see that movie. I never got
The
it.
Black Cauldron 44 million, box office.
Tomorrowland, you wanted to see that movie, Mike?
Are we doing that one? Oh shit, that's right. It was the ride. All
Oh,
right, keep going.
great. We have one of the worst fucking performing movies on the list. I can't wait. Number 4, The Black Cauldron, 44 million. It did 21.3 in the box office. This one surprised me, and I'm sure there's there's more literature on this situation here. But Fantasia at number 3, initial budget was 2 million. So I'm assuming that means that it went through more production that increased the budget a lot more to make this not a success. But it was a budget of 2 million and the box office did 77 million, according to what it says here on Screen Rant. It came out.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Say
It came out during World War II, so that didn't
Yes.
that affected a lot of things. But then it says it's not
I think
entirely.
that movie was too big brain Rick and Morty for people. Like classical music, like like fucking no one wanted to.
No, I'm pretty sure.
In the 40s, I feel like that was probably up fucking on par with what people were like ingesting for media.
I'm pretty sure the big problem with that was the war thing. Is that they made it and everyone had left.
So according to this, it says they recouped their money through re-releases and remastered versions, though it's not entirely clear how much of a profit or even a loss this beloved masterpiece has actually racked up for the company when additional costs for editing and marketing are factored in. This one, folks, is a bit of a mystery. Number 2 on the list, The Alamo, budget 107, box office 25 million. Yikes. And this movie, no idea what this is. Mars Needs Moms, budget 150, box office
Seth Green?
39 million.
That had Seth Green. It was a CGI film, and
It's fairly recent, like last 10 years, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe last
like
15. Yeah, fairly recent.
Sapphire Jade in the chat says Edward Scissorhands is a good Johnny Depp. I agree. I like Edward Scissorhands.
100%.
I haven't seen that movie in a long
Sleepy
time.
Hollow, all those movies
2011.
Yeah, 2011. Sleepy Hollow is another good one too. Nick of Time.
I forgot what year it was. I had to look.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, but see, I can agree with you maybe that like post Pirates of the Caribbean is when things change, but I think he is a good actor in Pirates of the Caribbean. For what, especially for what those movies are, when they're just like CGI,
Oh, are we
fucking-
counting Rango for Johnny Depp performances?
I think Rango is one of like the best animated movies of all time. Personally,
I actually haven't
think
seen
that
Rango.
movie's- It's amazing.
I haven't
It's
seen
really
Rango
fucking
either.
good.
I feel like Rango is post Pirates,
It's right
at least
around there.
at least post Pirates 1.
Yeah.
That might be in between Pirates and Lone Ranger. Anyways, so let's get to the real meat and bones here of this this conversation, which is Eddie Murphy's The Haunted Mansion. which, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who wants to take it? Mike, you're making faces. Hit us with it. What do you got?
No, I don't have anything to start us off with.
What do you guys got? 4, 5 stars? What do you think?
I mean, is it possible to go
3
6?
thumbs up?
Is it possible to go
Give it
6 stars?
Give it a solid half a star, maybe a star. I'll give it a star.
It wasn't that bad.
Here's my.
You know why I'm telling you why I'll give it a star right now, because it has the dude from The Princess Bride in it, and that's why.
Inconceivable.
Yeah. he sounds the same in every movie. He seems like he's the same character in every movie. You know.
Yeah.
So here's where I'll go with this. And I don't know if Dom has this information off the top of his head, and if he doesn't, that's fine. We don't need to waste time looking it up. But in regards to, like, you said that there's a bunch of rides that have movie counterparts. Is this early on that list, or later, or somewhere in the middle? Do you know?
It should be early. I don't remember when. I want to say it's early.
Aside from Pirates, are they all bad movies, or are there other ones that are good?
No, they're mostly bad.
Okay.
Jungle Cruise might end up being good. We don't know.
We don't know. It's up in the air.
That movie
It has a lot of like big actors in it, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, just like this movie has Eddie Murphy and Terrence Stamp and Jennifer Tilly and.
I mean, to be fair, and not to knock any of those actors or actresses, but The Rock is currently.
I think he's stressed.
The Rock is currently the highest paid actor in Hollywood, I believe.
I know, and I think he's a horrible actor. Personally.
I don't think so. I love The Rock. Todd, you love Moana. What are you talking about?
Yeah, great. You fucking voice something.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, I think that there's an argument to be made that voice acting in certain situations is harder than on-camera acting, simply because if you want to like do a really good performance, you have to do that. Obviously, the animators help, but like you have to do that with your voice only. I feel like there's a case to be made.
I thought like I was a huge fan of The Rock. When Walking Tall came out, The Rundown is another great movie with Christopher Walken, so good as the bad guy. But like The Rock is literally the same fucking person every movie, minus he was pretty good in the Jumanji remakes, where I feel like he wasn't like he's kind of playing like this loser kid who's now all of a sudden the tough guy. But
what do you want The Rock to be?
The same thing I want Will Smith to be, versatile, and not feel like I'm only watching Will Smith every fucking time I watch a movie. I just feel like, oh, it's Will Smith. I don't feel like he's acting. I feel like he's just playing himself.
So I guess I'll throw this to you. Do you feel that way about someone like Tom Cruise? Do you feel like when you see a Tom Cruise movie, you're just seeing pretty much the same character?
Yes and no, because Tom Cruise gave some incredible performances in Born on the 4th of July.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, it's out there. I think that was great, but
yeah, it was. I mean, it was completely different than the rest of Tom Cruise.
Yes, exactly. And Magnolia, all these movies are like some crazy great performances. So no, I would not put Tom Cruise in that same category. Maybe
I would say that most of his movies are the same.
Yeah, but now like his recent like last 10 years, I would probably put him in that category because I feel like he hasn't challenged himself at all, except for like doing crazy stunts. But like, I feel like he's kind of playing the same.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is when you're an actor that's on that list and at the top of it or up there, or you're like kind of owning a span of years, I feel like the movies you're in tend to be very similar. Like you look at Tom, totally I'm sure there was a point in time where Tom Cruise was the highest paid actor, I would imagine.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure, yeah. At some point. I mean, I'm sure he does pretty well now because he produces everything.
Yeah. So I mean, you look at who would have been the previous highest paid actor before? Will Smith? Before The Rock?
Will Smith probably.
Yeah, so like you look at some of these actors, I feel like,
like
you know, I'm not surprised if a lot of their roles are maybe very similar because it's just, you know.
But that I like seeing them like.
That's not me trying to like stick up for them. I'm just saying I think that's kind of the like they'll probably be a point where The Rock then is like, if he wants to stick with acting, maybe he'll be like, I want to kind of redefine my career and like take on a serious role or something like that. And again, I haven't seen many Rock movies. I can't fucking say.
He doesn't have to, though.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have to because everything sells with him.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I don't think he's had a dud ever. Like,
yeah, he's definitely had duds.
Probably Doom.
Oh yeah,
Doom.
Yeah.
There's no way Rampage did well.
Oh, Rampage probably did shitty.
People like that movie though, and I think it actually did kind of well. And I hear people say that I thought this movie was going to be. I've never seen it, so like.
Which one, Rampage or the Tooth Fairy?
Rampage. Not the. I thought the Tooth Fairy was Vin Diesel. I was like thinking of it.
No,
I think it was The Rock.
it's The Rock.
My boy Vin would be pissed if he heard you say that. He doesn't like The Rock, right? Does he still not like The Rock, Mike?
Yeah, they're definitely not family.
Is Hobbs and Shaw not in the FFCU anymore?
I mean, it's still there. It's
That movie
just,
was terrible. But-
I don't know. Mike saw Hobbs and Shaw. Mike, was it bad? Wait, Todd, you saw Hobbs and Shaw?
Oh, I was excited for it.
Listen,
I don't even like Fast and the Furious.
All right, we need to realign here because here's two things. One, we haven't talked about the Haunted Mansion at all, and two, is this the worst movie we've talked about in the movie club so far? Because this is 30 minutes and we haven't talked about this movie. So let's just pivot to the Haunted Mansion.
Talk about the movie.
And,
all right, so I just want to I'm gonna start off by asking Dom this question because we did briefly talk about it. We briefly talked about the film. We didn't talk about this specifically. So the Barbershop Quartet head busts.
Correct.
Are they part of the ride too?
So yes, so first off, they are performed by the Dapper Dans, which are the barbershop quartet that are featured at Disney World.
Oh, that's pretty
Okay.
cool.
And yes, the heads are in the red. They are in the graveyard scene in the red.
Okay. So my follow-up question is, at the end of...
No, they don't sing whatever nonsense they sing in the car.
Okay. No, but my follow-up question is, when the Evers leave the mansion, they've got the deeds of the place, and they finally go to the lake, which is apparently across the ocean. I don't know where that bridge was going.
I don't know.
Why did they take them with them? They didn't need them for anything, right? They just... Why were they...
They wanted to listen to them sing for Evers and Evers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I believe that we already talked about this, but my favorite characters from this film are the little kid.
We did not talk about it.
I will agree with you on that.
His son?
The son, yeah.
Okay.
The son. And Terrence Stamp plays his role really well in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good role.
It's not a good
he plays his role really well, yeah.
So,
Terrence Stamp is the butler, correct?
Is the butler. Yeah.
Ramsley, yes.
Yeah. So I'm to understand that Terrence Stamp murdered the master's fiance, or
Correct.
it wasn't even fiance because she had agreed to marry him, but he didn't know that.
So, I guess.
Yeah. So he
kind of fiance in writing.
He murdered her, and then
First off, I want to interrupt you. Who accepts a marriage proposal in writing?
Yeah,
that's how they did it.
They were in the same mansion.
They were at a party, and she accepted a marriage proposal in writing.
In writing, I didn't get that.
That's how high society does things.
As a matter of fact, at the beginning of the film, I was texting, or I was on my phone or something. So I didn't. Did they show her face at the beginning of the movie, or was it supposed to be a reveal later on that she was the?
So they were at a Eyes Wide Shut party.
Okay,
so all of them were wearing masks.
Okay. So Ramsley kills the fiance, and then the plot of the film is he has to get the guy to marry her.
Yeah,
the same marriage that he had stopped previously.
Yeah, I don't understand. So the whole idea was that he had to break the curse. He didn't care about
that he imposed on them.
He imposed, yeah, exactly.
Okay. And what else did I want to bring up?
That storyline has nothing to do with the ride.
Okay. And
does any of these storylines have to do with the ride?
So a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie is like part of the ride. So like Jennifer Tilly's character is like in the ride. She doesn't like, I don't know, like hang out and like jib jab with you. I don't understand. So she's supposed to be like she's a head in a crystal ball, and then Eddie Murphy just picks her up and starts walking around with her. I don't really understand.
So
he breaks the seance, so she shouldn't exist anymore.
So one of my things with this was that I didn't like this movie. I thought it was whatever. There's no. This movie is what it is. For us to even have like a this like critique discussion about it is fucking bonkers that we're doing this, but it's also great at the same time. But it's like obviously not something that this movie is intended for. It's not intended for like deep critique or discussion.
the movie is fan service. It's
Yeah.
if you are a fan of the ride, then you'll like find things that you like in the movie.
Well,
It's still not a good movie. It's okay.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
But as a fan of the ride, Dom, like, do you think that this movie is faithful to the ride?
No, I just said.
Oh, okay.
There's no real estate agent in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
I mean, in the ride.
So,
there's not a way.
No, I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say, I
go
remember
ahead.
like looking into like the mirror and like the faces weren't there, and that's the only thing I remember of the ride. Like when you're looking at the porch.
The hitchhiking ghosts.
Yes, yeah.
So they're in the movie. You know what I mean? Like they show up.
Little things like that.
Yeah.
So
like
here,
that graveyard scene where there's like a big party in the graveyard. That's a scene from the ride. When they're like going towards the mausoleum.
Okay. So
but there's no zombies.
Yeah. So for me, like, I haven't been to Disney in a long time, and the last time that I went to Disney, I probably didn't even go in the Haunted Mansion. But so I haven't been to the Haunted Mansion itself in a long time, but last year at some point I watched there's something on Disney Plus. I'm sure maybe there's multiple things, but there's something on Disney Plus that I don't know if it's about specific rides or if it's just about the parks in general, but I was watching something.
You were probably the Imagineering story.
Yeah, I think it might have been that. And there was a portion or an episode or something that was talking about like the stuff and like, you know, the fucking, like, basically the magic that they put into that ride. And it's just so bizarre to me because, like, I haven't been on to the Haunted Mansion ride in a long time, so maybe my opinion would change or whatever. But like, I don't remember that being like necessarily a scary experience. No. But it's definitely there's definitely like some eeriness and like some just cool effects that they play around with to create very interesting experiences for people that are there.
So Walt actually is on record as calling it the House of Illusion.
Okay.
It was originally intended to be a walk-through haunted house, and that was scrapped for what was going to be like a House of Illusions.
It's a sit-down ride, right? You get in like a cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. It's an omni mover. So you sit in a car that's constantly moving.
Since like I was I'm 39 now. I was probably 8 at the time, and I still remember waiting in line for the Haunted Mansion and what it looked like outside and everything because I was like so excited for it.
It's a fantastic ride. I will say right now that I would rather watch a 2-hour like documentary like behind the scenes of the Haunted Mansion over watching this film.
Oh easy. But so the point I was trying to get to is like I think that ride for something that's, you know, it's a Haunted Mansion, so like, you know, maybe that could be a scary experience, but it's not. It's like an eerie thing. They do a lot of interesting things that play with your perception and stuff, and for them to make a movie loosely based on that ride that's also like not intended to be a scary movie, but then you also kind of lose what makes that ride special with like the just the way that they play around with things in that, where this movie is just doesn't really contain any type of like that same type of like magic and wonder.
Well, it's you know what's wild to me about this?
It's kind of a letdown.
Seeing a movie that, what was this, 2003 I think, or
2003.
Okay, so the amount of quality in a Disney film back then, and I know it's an older movie, but like compared to what Disney puts out now, it doesn't even seem like you could compare. Like there's just so much like, I mean, I know there's a lot of stupid shit in probably some of the Disney movies now, but I felt like there was just so many. It's just weird that even was a Disney movie. It seems like some other studio made a Disney movie when I watched this movie. This
is the 90s 2000s live action Disney. This is they weren't putting out great shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a step above a Disney Channel movie. It's like
even in the 2000s they really weren't putting out great animated films for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like Toy Story was the one that made it take off, or that was Pixar.
That was Pixar.
At the time, Pixar was a separate company, right?
They literally were worried that if they didn't buy Pixar, that they were going to like lose their ability to like put out movies. That's why they bought Pixar.
Right call.
Right.
So real quick, back to the Hitchhiking Ghosts.
Yeah.
One of them is Deep Roy, who is better known as the.
He's the guy from Wonka, right?
He's the Oompa Loompas.
Oh, that's right. That's why I know his name.
And one of them is Jeremy Howard, who is like the skinny, spiked up hair guy from Galaxy Quest. He's one of the friends of he's one of the friends of
Justin Long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the computer kids.
Mm.
And the other one I was gonna say is that the ghost host, the voice, the like voiceover voice for the movie, is the voice of Count Dooku and Cad Bane in Clone Wars, and Ludwig von Drake for Disney, and Hugo Strange in Arkham City.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything else to say about this film before we move on?
Yeah, I got a couple of things I just wanted to quickly bang out. Number one, this is just me harping on the film at this point, but there were scenes that went on too long.
You're kidding.
Yeah, there were scenes like
How long was this? 2 hours? It wasn't 2 hours, right? It was like an hour and a half.
It was like an hour and a half, hour 45.
Felt like 2 hours.
86 minutes.
Oof, Jesus.
Yeah, there were scenes like the barbershop quartet thing ran on way too long. When
the first time I felt like it ran fine, and then they brought it back, and I was like, all right, we need to be done with this.
And for instance, when Eddie Murphy finds the hidden door and he's like messing around with them, it's like, guys, we get it. Found a door switch. Are you gonna go through the door or not? You can't just sit here playing with the door. Writing was shoddy. In this movie, there is canonically a heaven and a hell, and those ghosts just get to go to heaven. All of them.
That's how it works.
I mean, I feel like
they didn't all go to heaven.
All dogs go to heaven.
That's what I thought. I'm like, okay, it's just the guys that happen to be inside the mansion. But when they leave the mansion, you see all the little ghost spirits going up. So that must mean everybody went to heaven.
Not all.
Besides Ramsley.
Ramsley went to hell. Yeah.
Ramsley 100% went to hell. I don't know what he.
But I think what we can take from this is that the rest of them were punished by Ramsley. So they were serving their sentence in purgatory.
Here's the other thing that I'm now thinking about. We know how Elizabeth died. How did the rest of them die? Why they all stay as ghosts of, assuming like of the night that
Well, Master Gracie died because he hung himself.
Yes. Oh, did they all just also hang themselves in sadness?
I don't know. I'm gonna just assume that it's like a Beauty and the Beast thing, and since the Master died, the rest of them die. In Beauty and the Beast, the Master gets cursed, so the rest of them get cursed.
The rest of them also got cursed. Like, yeah, you're a terrible prince, and the rest of you guys, you're just enabling him, so you get to be a chair.
Yeah, exactly.
How
long do you think we can have an ethical conversation about a haunted mansion?
My favorite part is like they're like, the house is yours now. Sell it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah,
like, okay, yeah, cool.
We don't have a better way to end this movie, so here's the deed.
Yeah.
Here's a deed. So maybe sequel. I don't know.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while. I don't think we're gonna get a sequel.
I don't know. I have
unless Michael grows up to like own the house and he has to bring his family. They're like, yeah, this is the time this is the time I had to kill the spiders.
Listen.
What's the guy's name? What's the friend's name from Get Out? The cop.
I forget his name.
Because he would be perfect to be a grown-up Michael. I feel like he would kill that role.
Let's ring him up. Let's call it Disney.
Right, let's write up the script.
Write the script.
Haunted Mansion 2.
The movie no one asked for.
I hate it. Anyone else have anything to add on this subject?
Nope.
Todd, are you? Dom?
No, I was literally just gonna say watch a ride through. I mean, watching a ride through is you could watch a ride through for 86 minutes and you'd have a better time than.
I believe it.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna say. The last time I went to Disney was our senior trip to Disney.
Yep.
And I did not go on the Haunted Mansion because the ride broke down.
Yeah, and you were asleep.
No, we went to the haunted. I was asleep until noon every day. No, that's a fact. But we went to the.
Really?
He tried going to the haunted mansion.
It was vacation,
at
Mike.
night. Vacation Mike sleeps till noon.
No, yeah, like every day, Mike sleeps till noon when he doesn't have work.
When he doesn't have things to do, Michael.
Listen, life's a beach for Mike, right? It's always a vacation for him.
Life's a beach, and then you die.
So yeah.
Oh, I actually have a list of the ride movies, and it actually is at the
Brendan's
end
like,
of
can
the
we just
list.
get off of this fucking...
Oh,
Like, I'm
so
done talking about this movie.
wait,
It also came out the same year as Curse of the Black Pearl, which is an interesting factoid that I'm just looking up right now.
They must internally have tiers of like, listen, this is gonna be a fucking bonkers movie. This is gonna be, let's just shove it out there and hopefully make some money off of it. Like that's
I don't know. I think they were probably relying on the name
Eddie Murphy. Yeah, I believe it.
well, can we compare the budgets of both films just to see if they just happen to spend more money? Because in my mind,
The budget for
It
for Curse of the Black Pearl was probably, I would imagine, much higher. It has way more CGI and way more
140
actors.
million versus 90 million.
okay,
That's not that big of a discrepancy. That's
Yeah,
a lot closer than
because
I
a lot
think.
of the CGI was for the undead pirates, and they didn't use them that much. I don't think.
So
A
maybe
lot
the
of them, they
second
weren't
film
even-
probably had a bigger budget.
Yeah.
Anyways, Todd, are you revealing your pick here? Or are you doing a poll, or what are you doing?
I'm gonna do a poll, and I got a question. How many movies can I have? How many
On a Twitter poll,
questions can I have on a
4.
poll? Yeah. Oh, only 4?
Yes.
Ooh, that makes it fucking tough.
How many fucking movies were you
many
gonna
do you
put?
have?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I have 6 right now, and I'm having a hard time figuring out which 2 I need to remove. I can do it, but like
Let's do it as a group right now. Here we go. Throw them out.
Oh, yeah.
We'll knock off 2.
Say the 6, and we're gonna veto 2.
We'll knock off 2, and then the Twitter poll can vote on the 4.
No, you guys are not knocking off anything. I'm gonna do this. I'll base this off of what you guys have seen and what you haven't seen. And if everyone's seen these movies, then okay, yes, then I'll knock them off.
Okay.
So the first one is Children of Men. Anyone
Yes.
seen that?
I
Okay,
have
what
been
else?
meaning to watch that movie, so
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I have been meaning to watch Children. of Men.
Okay, the next one is The Nice Guys. Anyone seen that movie?
I have been meaning to watch that too, and I own it.
Okay,
That-
no, I haven't, because I was about to ask if that was the movie with Mark Wahlberg and,
No,
and
yeah,
Will
yeah.
Ferrell.
Other
It's
guys.
with Russell Crowe and the dude from
Ryan
La La Land.
Gosling.
Yeah.
It's a
No, I
really good
knew. Yeah, I had to think about it, but I
All right,
got
how
there.
many of you guys have seen Mad Max Fury Road?
I have seen it.
Ooh, so that's still a go. All
That's
right,
still-
Gross Point Blank. Anyone ever seen that movie?
I've been meaning to
No.
watch that one as well.
Fuck. All right, and the other one is Goon.
I had seen it.
Okay.
I
And
think
you
I've
guys
seen part of it, but I don't really care.
have- Okay.
We're
and-
in Stanley Cup season, so
I know.
be a
and-
good pick.
And then the final pick is Midsummer.
I have
So,
seen
and
Oh, that would be a great film for Brennan to watch.
No, well, you know what? No, I like so like I've had
I can see it in his face already.
Todd,
No,
if you
well, I
pick
know, like,
if you pick Midsummer, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna play a video game while it's on in the background. I'm not gonna watch that
No,
movie.
But,
It's
no,
not
you have to-
scary.
that goes against, it's not. That's like it's complete opposite of
That goes
Predator.
against.
Like,
That's what I did with fucking Hereditary. Because fuck that movie. I did not
yeah,
want to
yeah,
watch that
but
movie.
This
It's
isn't
not
like Hereditary.
scary. It's
This
just
is more of like
disturbing.
This is no, it's not even disturbing. This movie's like an acid trip basically, and it's like it's very little violence.
I already know
I
how
don't
it gets.
know.
I already
I
know
don't
how
know,
it
that's
ends. It got
pretty
spoiled for me on
disturbing.
Twitter in a joke.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
pretty disturbing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but like not like compared to most movies. So, fuck. All right.
Easy. Knock off Goon and knock off Midsummer.
Knock off Goon. It's fucking Stanley Cup season. Have you seen Goon?
No one cares
Probably
about Sean William Scott fucking
fucking-
punching
Honestly,
people.
It's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
It is.
Covered
It's a
up
great movie.
It really is a great.
I hear a lot of people,
hilarious, so.
rave about that film, and I have seen part of it, but I did not. Like none of that stayed in my head.
So those are the 6. I'll narrow it down. I'll give it to you so you can put up the poll in a little bit. I'll just fucking whittle. So basically, out of all those movies, one person has seen each one of those, but not everyone has seen those movies. So I kind of like that, but I mean, it doesn't. Regardless, it's going to be picked by other people, so it doesn't really matter. And I feel like if I put Goon in the poll, people are going to be like, "What the fuck is that?" And then no one's going to even fucking vote for Goon. That's the only
Good.
thing.
That's
I
fine. Get
don't
rid of
know
Goon.
about
No one
that.
cares.
No.
Again, I feel like that movie is really popular.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's got a pretty good cult
Todd, just
following.
drop Midsummer. I don't want to watch that movie. Like, you're not gonna make like if that movie gets picked, like my opinion isn't gonna change, and I'm gonna be like, wow, that was actually a really good movie. I know I am not gonna like that movie. Like,
Yeah, you're not.
I'm not
you're
gonna like the
probably
movie
You're probably not going to enjoy it.
Why though? Like,
because I know
like,
I am not gonna like it because I know what I like,
feel
and I don't like that.
I feel like Children of Men is definitely.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, and you probably wouldn't like that movie, and like I feel like.
Listen, Todd, the par for the course so far is I don't like the movies you pick.
Yeah, because you don't like good movies, but besides that, like, fucking.
Mike also didn't like Hereditary. Mike also didn't care that much for Prisoners.
Yeah,
And I didn't even and I
it
didn't
was
and I didn't even
fine.
think Prisoner was a bad movie. It's not a movie that I like.
I mean, this isn't a shot at Mike, but I feel like I don't know what Mike likes at all. With any
No one
movie.
does. I like it that
you
way.
know what I'm saying? Like, it's like.
I think
Michael loved.
I
Haunted
think
Mansion.
I think the point of why we established the PTC Movie Club was to get all of us to watch other movies, but to pick movies that we think the other people would like and have never seen.
I did it to broaden your horizons because, like, you're like.
Yeah, but see,
me too. Me too.
but see, Todd, I'm totally fine with broadening my horizons and trying things new, but like, given what I know the director does, and given that I know what that movie is at its core, I know it's not something I'm gonna enjoy. Like, my mind's never gonna come around on that type of movie.
Yeah, but that's weird to me because, like, you.
Why is that weird to me? I don't like suspense. I don't like that type of feeling. So like, if you give me the best movie ever made in that genre, it doesn't necessarily mean that my mind is gonna change on. Oh, now I like this type of thing.
I feel like that.
I feel like that. Fucking anything, and I'll watch shit that I fucking hate, like, and I'm like, would never watch. I think it's weird that you wouldn't want to watch something that, you know what, maybe you would go into it thinking you'd hate it, and then you'd come out being like, you know what, actually that movie was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And like, I don't fucking like. I'm open to watching fucking anything someone throws at me. I feel like you're like living in a bubble. Like, you gotta.
How am I living in a bubble, Todd? Prisoner, another movie that I didn't want. Like, I would never watch that movie, and
why wouldn't you?
Because it's not the type of thing I don't like. I don't know how else to explain this. I personally don't like the feeling of feeling on edge in that negative way.
Yeah, I feel like Midsummer is another movie that is like you're constantly.
Yes, I know
anxious.
I will not like that movie. I just,
see, like,
Todd, I
I
just
never
forced
felt-
myself to watch Uncut Gems, knowing it would be a movie that I wouldn't like. And guess what? I fucking hated it. Like, I don't like that feeling. That's why that's why I would never play The
Like,
Last
don't
of Us
you-
2
but-
again
but,
because
like,
I don't like that feeling.
But I don't understand how. Like,
What is there to
let's say-
understand?
Just
It's-
pick
This
just
is
pick the
like a-
Daniel Radcliffe movie.
This is a stupid comparison, but like let's say.
Isn't there a movie that like makes
the
you feel
movie
anxious?
before,
the
the
whole
movie
movie?
before Endgame? You were
Oh.
anxious for all the characters, like whatever it's called.
Infinity War?
Yeah, you
Hold
were,
on.
like,
I was
anxious.
I was
What's happening though? Like,
no, I wasn't
like,
anxious.
Your favorite characters and everything, and you're like.
At
fuck,
no point did I think that anything like was going to startle
even
me.
Endgame.
Or
No, not startled, but like I think anxious has.
Todd,
more to do
if
with,
you're
like,
trying to compare like something like Hereditary or Prisoners or Midsummer to a Marvel movie, I'm sorry, I don't know why you're making that comparison.
Because I feel like for you, I have to pick a PG-13 movie.
You don't.
That's
Marvel
basically
doesn't
what I
like money.
You don't have to make that. It's not about the tone of it's. Sorry, it's not about it being a PG-13 movie or a rated R movie. It's that I know I don't like horror, I don't like suspense, and I don't like things that are meant to make you feel uncomfortable. I don't like to feel uncomfortable. Is Midsummer meant to make you feel uncomfortable?
No.
It's
Not
not.
like Hereditary, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Dom's
I
making a
don't
different face.
Yeah, I disagree completely. I kind of the first time I watched Midsummer, I was actually bored.
Pick
So
a
I had to come
Razorhead.
around to it. I had to, yeah, dude. That's so funny. I almost picked, dude. I literally have been rewatching Twin Peaks, and I was like literally debating: do I pick a David Lynch movie?
You
I'm
could
like,
pick. You just put up 4 David Lynch movies.
Oh, can we watch Mulholland Drive?
I was Mike. I was gonna pick that too. That was gonna be one of the ones I picked. It was gonna be Eraserhead, Mulholland Drive, and I was like, you know what? I'll just get yelled at again. I'm not gonna pick any of these movies. And
Yeah,
these
but
movies,
you're
like,
part.
But now you're getting
I-
yelled at anyways.
Yeah, I know. I saw part of Mulholland Drive on TV once. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I'm pretty
right
sure that during the Hereditary episode, I said that you could not pick Midsummer because I will never watch it.
yeah, but that's just.
I'm not gonna watch it. I mean, if you want to pick it and everyone else wants to watch it, have a ball. I'll put it on. I'll put.
movie you pick. I can just say I don't want to watch it then if I don't.
Sure.
like it.
Then why are we even doing the PTC Movie Club?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I said it was awful
I'm
from the
open to
beginning.
everything.
You guys
I'm
never
open
wanted to listen to
everything
me.
You can throw in me. You can throw in fucking what's that movie?
Yeah,
they
Todd,
did,
you
in the
like
80s,
movies.
Yeah.
And you have think like you clearly don't get bothered by certain types of
Because it's
things.
fucking film. I know it's not real. Like,
Okay, but that's not. I'm not. It's not that It's not that I'm watching the movie like this is gonna happen to me. It's just I don't. That's not what I want to spend my time doing. I don't get any enjoyment from it. There is zero entertainment for me. There's zero enjoyment. I don't come away from Hereditary with anything positive. I don't come away from anything positive from that for me. That was an experience I don't care about.
Pick safe picks for you.
You don't.
Kind of ruins the whole thing. Yeah, I definitely do.
What is the safe pick? But what do you mean?
Prisoners, like you didn't like Prisoners. You didn't. Man, that's not a horror movie.
Just pick Goon.
Todd, with Prisoners, I said that I didn't like the movie. I would never be a movie that I watch, but I wouldn't put Prisoner in the same category as Midsommar or Hereditary.
I feel like now that we're having this long conversation, we're gonna put up the poll and everyone's gonna pick Midsommar.
Probably.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, it's fine. I'll give
you can listen. You can pick the movie. I'm just urging you to pick something else, only because like I know up front that's a movie that I'm not gonna like, and I guarantee Mike probably will also not like that movie. So you're just losing battle. You want to just have an episode where we fight about Midsommar? Because that's what it's going to be.
I mean, we can do that right now.
Mike hated Hereditary. Mike hated Hereditary. Mike is not going to like Midsommar.
Midsommar is so far off from what Hereditary is.
I understand that, but I also know what the movie is about because it got spoiled for me on Twitter.
What, like a toxic relationships? That's basically what the movie is
Yes, but I guarantee you that there are scenes in visuals in that movie that I am going to find uncomfortable.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
So it's not going to be an experience that I'm going to enjoy in any fucking way. You can pick it. If you want to pick it, go for it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do the same thing I did with Hereditary. I'm going to have, if there are situations that I just don't want to feel like sitting myself through, I'm going to fucking go on my phone. Like I'm just going to avert my eyes. And I don't think that's cheating. That's just, I don't want to watch that shit. I still was fully invested in Hereditary. And then when Hereditary finished, I fucking looked up deeper dives online about like what the fuck did I just watch? What is happening here? I spent more time with that movie than I wanted to, and I fucking hated it. So don't sit here and tell me you can't pick a fucking movie because I'm gonna watch what gets picked. No, I'm just trying to urge you to pick something that I want you to.
I want to pick my favorite movies for people, basically.
Sure, and I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is, like, I want you to pick a movie that you love, that you think I'm going to fucking like, that I've never seen. That's what I want you to pick.
I don't think there's anything. I think you've already seen the movies that I love that you...
Literally every movie you just said, I don't even know what they are. I don't even know what they are.
Like Goon.
Oh, I think everyone would like... I think
yeah, but don't... You can't sit here and tell me you think that every movie you're going to name I've seen, because every movie that has been in your poll so far, I have not seen.
No. He meant all the movies that you'll like that he's gonna pick.
Like, I feel like like you're still expanding and opening fucking.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna watch whatever movie gets picked. I'm just telling you up front that I know in advance I'm gonna hate that movie. Mike's gonna hate that movie. I'd rather watch something else.
That's the problem, though.
I'm gonna tell you in advance that you're gonna hate all my movies. So.
Yeah, I know. But yours is a different type of hate. This is yours is just a bad fucking movie.
Mine is Schadenfreude at this point.
Like I get that you don't like that type of movie, but if I go into a video game and say I'm gonna hate this game, I fucking hate that game regardless if I like it or not. I'm just gonna fucking hate it because I'm going in negative.
Todd,
you're going in negative.
I'm not going in negative. I'm going in with an open. Todd, 100%. I'm telling you right now, the fact that I watch Hereditary is a fucking feat. Is a fucking feat. And I went into that with an open mind, and I purposely went into it without Googling anything about the fucking movie, so I didn't even know what I was in store for. So don't fucking tell me that I went in with a negative mind. I went in with I'm probably not going to like this movie because it's quote unquote a horror movie and I don't like horror. Todd, I fucking hated The Medium. And that's not scary. I don't like that type of shit. That's all. It's not going to change. Nothing is going to change my mind. I don't like that type of thing. I don't. If you don't like eating seafood, it doesn't matter if someone cooks the best fucking seafood dish on the planet, you're probably still not going to like it.
I disagree because I had calamari and I fucking loved it and I hate seafood.
Fried food is a little bit different. It's just fucking fried food.
My question to you, Todd, is this. You enjoyed the calamari. Do you now like all seafood?
I'd be more inclined to try more. I just don't ever...
No, you fucking wouldn't. Stop that.
Because fish is really good for you and I just don't fucking eat fish. But
horror movies aren't good for you.
Yes, they are. They fucking open different parts of your brain that fucking make you feel feels that you wouldn't feel any other day. Is it good for you? Who knows? But it fucking, expands your
He's just
emotions.
making up science now, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it.
No,
I'm gonna buy
get
it.
the fuck
Gets
out
the
of here with this
blood-
nonsense.
Gets the blood
Listen,
going.
again, I'm just urging you because I know
Gets
it's a
the
movie I'm
people
not going to enjoy.
going.
You want to pick it, go for it. But I'm just letting you know that you go that route, every pick forward for me, fucking anime, and I'm picking garbage fucking anime.
Bro, you're talking to the guy who's been watching fucking so much anime recently.
Yeah,
that,
I'm
like,
I'm gonna give you like hard to stomach fucking bullshit anime.
That's fine.
It's
I
not
feel
fine.
like we've just turned the PTC Movie Club into just watching.
It's just fucking
movies
hate
that-
picks.
Yeah,
Hate
we're all,
We all just
make each other
dislike.
hate each other. Yeah.
See,
This-
that I can be on board
This
for.
segment, no. See, now this is divulging into what I didn't want it to be. I wanted this to be Todd has quote unquote good taste in movies.
It's
I
so
want
funny,
Todd
we
to
had-
make me
we had
watch
two different-
good
we had
movies.
We had
Yeah,
two
but then we
different
heard-
things. I wanted to expand horizons, and you wanted to just have me pick you movies that you would like. That's basically what you want. I wanted to expand your horizons. You want me to pick
Todd,
you movies that
expand my
you would
horizons.
be okay with.
I don't watch movies. Literally having me
Exactly,
watch any
exactly.
movie is expanding horizons. It doesn't have to be Todd's fucking. It has to be by Eric fucking Anders or whatever the fuck the hereditary
No, but-
bullshit
but
guy
I'm
is.
saying all these
Ari
movies-
Aster, get the fuck out of here.
Most of these movies we are not gonna like. I know for a fact, and they're all my favorite movies. Like these are my hands down favorite movies.
Who
Like, a lot of these I'm
who
gonna
picked
pick.
fucking Mikey's a winner? Who picked that movie?
Mikey's a big winner.
Who picked that movie?
I did.
That's the best movie you picked, and it was still just okay.
Do you know why I picked that movie?
No idea.
Because you were so upset about Hereditary, I had to pick a safe pick that would be funny.
Oh, stop! You didn't pick anything. You put up a fucking poll.
But
You didn't pick shit. You put 4 movies in a poll.
Did you just say Swingers was just okay?
It was fine. It wasn't. I didn't think it was that great. It was fine. I enjoyed
It
it.
was so money, and Brenden doesn't even know it.
He doesn't even know it.
I put very safe movies into my second pick because I was like, oh, I don't want to piss. Oh, it was my third pick. I can't remember.
It was your third pick because Prisoners
Yeah,
was
my third.
also just okay.
Yeah.
Acting was great. You think the acting was so good in Hereditary?
Listen,
I do
every
not
time
think
we
that was
have
good
this
acting.
Conversation with most people, everyone disagrees.
Listen, Todd. I'm not going to sit here and say everyone's entitled to their own fucking opinion. This is you saying, "Hey, Brenden, I know you don't like this type of thing. I'm going to keep feeding it to you."
No, that's not why I'm saying. I'm saying I really enjoy these movies. It's not a certain type of thing. It's I enjoy these movies.
Every pick that you have proposed is not the same as Hereditary and Midsummer. Is that
I
really
remember what I picked for my second one. My
Prisoners?
second. Okay, were you saying they're not alike, or they're? You're saying they are alike, or they're not like?
They're not
kind of like-
alike.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, I don't get what you're saying.
So never mind. Why are we still talking about this? I don't fucking care. You can pick whatever fucking movie you want. It's your pick.
I don't know. The
I know.
audience picked Todd's last
I
pick,
leave it
so
up. I leave it up to the audience every single time. Which I will continue to do. I will leave it up to the audience.
Okay. I mean, again, I'm gonna watch whatever it is there, but I will say right now, definitively on this episode, if going forward it turns into we're gonna just pick fucking. I mean, Dom's already kind of. If Dom wants to continue down his road of fucking non-sensory, we'll allow it for the Disney rides. But like, if this turns,
Grandfathered you in, John, that's awesome.
if this he's grandfathered in it. If this turns into like people fucking hate fucking their movie picks, we're gonna drop doing
Yeah,
this.
but this isn't hate fucking the movie.
I'm not
This is-
saying you. I'm talking about Mike was all giddy when that proposition came up. We're not doing that.
Yeah, no,
Good
of course,
proposition.
no. I'm not. I'm picking movies that I love. That's
I'm
what
not.
doing.
I know. I'm not saying you. I'm looking directly at Mike without saying Mike's name, and now I'm saying Mike's
No one
name.
can see what you're looking at.
I'm looking at you, Mike, and saying this isn't turning into like I'm picking fucking Bleep Lorps because it's a garbage movie and I want to make everyone watch it.
is there a Gazorp Field movie?
I wish.
Oh, Mike, Tale of Two Kitties.
Oh. Would it be
I'll
fair
make,
for
I'll
you to
make a
pick that
game
one?
time
We haven't seen
decision
the
right
first
now.
one.
I'll make a game time decision right now. I'm gonna pick the 4 right now.
Because then we all have to watch the first one in order to watch your pick.
No, I gotta write this down. Hold on, I gotta write this down.
Brain.
All right, hit me with him. Hit me with him. Midsummer.
Okay. Midsummer, Army of Dark. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I was gonna say Army of Dark.
Oh, I do want to watch that.
Dude, it's so good. But okay, so I'm gonna go with the Nice Guys. That's the first one.
It doesn't matter what order they're in.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm trying to. I'm like making a last minute Goon. I'll put Goon on there. I'm gonna put Children of Men on there. And for my final pick, like I want to get you on Quentin Tarantino's train, but like I don't know what to pick. And I was gonna do Pulp Fiction, but I don't think you would like Pulp Fiction. But I do think you.
And
would
you
like
think
other
I would
things.
like Midsummer? What the fuck crack are you smoking?
What?
You don't
forgot
want
the list.
hold on, you don't want to pick Pulp Fiction because you don't think I'd like it, but you want to pick Midsummer because
Well,
you'll
no,
think
no,
I
no,
like
no.
it.
When I say I don't think you'll like it, and in comparison to other Quentin movies, I feel like I'd like to get you into a Quentin movie that you would actually really enjoy before I show you Pulp Fiction, because I think Pulp Fiction's his best movie. But I also want you to see other movies that I think you would fucking love from his.
I'm calling
before I
it
had you watch
I'm calling it an audible, and I'm putting Midsummer as your fourth.
No.
And if it gets picked, I'm watching it.
No. We're gonna do Grosse Point Blank as my fourth.
I'm putting Midsummer there.
No, don't do it. Please don't, because I'll save that for another pick.
No, if you're gonna eventually pick it, just fucking pick it now and get
No,
it
I
over
wanna
with.
pick it. I'm not gonna
No,
lie, I really want it.
now he is making you anxious about watching a movie.
Yes,
that's making you
exactly.
anxious.
Like, I fucking hate
Which is
it.
even better.
Do you want to know why the main reason I wanted to watch Midsummer and pick Midsummer? Because I wanted to watch it again with Amanda. Because Amanda.
Just
never
fucking
liked
pick
it.
it.
Like,
Just don't even do a poll. Just pick
No,
Midsummer.
no,
Can we
I
just
like
pick
Midsummer.
Midsummer? Can we just get it over with? Can we
we're
just
not
pick
picking
Midsummer? Please, just get it over with. I just
Wait,
never.
listen.
I never want to talk. I don't even care. I'll watch the movie fucking tonight. I just never want to talk about Midsummer ever again.
Make the fourth one a write-in. Can you do a write-in in a Twitter poll?
I don't think
No,
so,
he
but-
would just have to say in the poll, like, just reply
Just
with
comment in
what
it,
you.
and whoever
Just
commented
Wait,
the
what
most.
what was my last one that I said?
I think he said Grosse Point Blank.
Was
He
that
said
the last
Nice
pick?
Guys, Grosse Point Blank,
Children of Men
Children of
and
Men.
Goon.
and Goon.
So the other movie I want to put on here, and have you any of you guys watched Tron Legacy? This is like a
Yes,
like
I did watch
okay.
Tron Legacy.
I'm not.
I really fucking like this movie, and I don't think it's a great movie, but I fucking really enjoy it.
It was
And
a
I
good
never watched
movie.
and I never watched the original Tron. So
I did watch the original Tron.
I haven't, and I really like this movie. So I don't feel like you need to know the original Tron because it
You
kind of
don't.
fills in the blanks. All right, just stick with Grosse Point Blank then. Well, those are the four. Those are the four.
I'm putting Midsummer, so kick one of these
no,
off.
Please don't. No, because I had a Midsummer was like a late add-on because I kind of just wanted to watch it with Amanda, and I do want people to watch it, but the other movies have been set in stone for me for like a very long time. Those four. That
No,
I
I just want you to flat out pick
just,
Midsummer.
Just watch it on your own. I'm not wasting a pick on it.
No,
Mike, you waste your pick on it.
Yeah, Mike.
no,
make that
Mike,
pick.
don't do that. No.
No, for real though.
Can-
The
Can
four
can we
movies I gave you,
can
though,
we
are some of my favorite
establish
movies of all time.
some sort of cohesion here with this? Like, I think the point of it is to pick movies that the person picking it thinks is a good film. I'm not saying Midsummer isn't a good film.
So wait,
That's
so we're
what I
using our
want.
pick to watch movies that we have already seen before.
No, you can also pick movies that you haven't watched. The next movie that I pick is going to be a movie that I have not seen but want to.
So I'm pretty sure that all those
Alright.
movies I just picked, maybe one person has seen one of them. So I'd rather stick with those four I just picked, so that it's a new movie to everyone for the most part.
That's the same thing with Midsummer. Only Dom has seen Midsummer. That would be the same
That's
reason.
fine, but I mean, Midsummer was not. I've had this list going for like 3 months, no joke, and Midsummer was not on this list. So like I've had this, and I've like whittled stuff off. Like I had Pulp Fiction on there. I've had what else did I have on there?
This is what you're going to end up making happen. Is you're going to end up making me watch. You're going to end up. Everyone has seen The Big Lebowski.
You have not seen
Actually, I have not seen.
Todd, The Big Lebowski is on Comedy Central like every day.
It
Have you
is
ever
not.
seen it?
I've seen
They now
I've
just play
seen
Cleveland
all of that
Show
movie
in Office.
at some
No, you
point.
have not.
Yes, I have. It's always on Comedy Central.
It is not.
Anyways,
I don't watch cable, so I don't know.
this is what you're going to end
Those
up
are the
making
four.
happen.
Those are the four.
If I end up watching Midsummer outside of you picking it, because I just want to just move on. I never want to speak about this movie again. You can't ever pick it. If I watch this movie, no one can pick it. Ever again.
Wait, watch what? Watch what?
If I watch Midsummer just on a whim, outside of anyone's pick, no one can
I wasn't
pick
gonna
that
pick
film
anyways.
again.
Yeah, no, I'm not
And then
gonna
no
pick
one
it.
can ever pick an Ari Aster film again.
His new movie's a comedy, so I mean, what if it's really good?
We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, yeah.
I just never want to talk about Midsummer again. I know it's a movie I'm not going to like. I just know it's a movie that's going to make me feel fucking uncomfortable.
You're good. It's on the list. And I also wanted to pick a Kevin Smith movie, early on Kevin Smith movie, but then I was like, I feel like you need to watch all Kevin Smith movies. I was going to pick Mallrats, But then I feel like you need to watch Clerks to fucking get the like. No, I know, but like
you
I was
don't.
like,
Listen,
I've
listen,
also seen.
listen. If you want to at some point break off,
Chasing Amy.
if you want to at
Yeah,
some
but I
point
mean-
break off and do like a Kevin Smith in review or a Quentin Tarantino in review and do like bonus episodes of the podcast, I'll watch movies like that.
Quentin Tarantino is so tough because I like don't even think I'd be able to decide what movie to pick because I love every movie.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is like we would just go in chronological release order of his major films and just watch them, like, I don't know, watch 2 movies a month and just do a bonus episode on those 2 movies.
just do those 4. I'm telling you. I think what's going to win out of those 4 is probably going to be The Nice Guys. I'm assuming. I'm gonna guess The Nice
I don't
Guys.
even know what any of these
gonna be
movies are.
Goon.
I know what Goon is. Goon is a hockey movie. What is Nice Guys about?
It's about so it's like a director I hate, by the way. Although he's the guy who directed Iron Man 3. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Shane Black.
Shane Black. He did another movie. His first movie with Robert Downey Jr. I'm blanking on that movie right now too. It's like very like it's a detective noir kind of, but comedy. It's straight. It's pretty much a comedy.
It's a comedy,
Russell, yeah. It's great though. It's I feel like you'd love it probably. I feel like most people who watch that movie walk away and love it.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's
because
great.
I've been like yelling about fucking Midsummer.
Man, if he starts scratching you and all of a sudden like you see like a real horror movie. Yeah, and I was gonna put Training Day on the list. That's another one of my favorite movies.
That's a great
I feel
movie.
like
I'll watch it
everyone's
again.
Yeah, so everyone's already seen that though. Yeah, but go with those 4. I was gonna pick Goon straight up by itself, but I do like doing the polls. It's kind of entertaining to me.
Yeah,
and I like
so
seeing-
the audience should pick Goons.
yeah, pick Goon. Goon's so good, and Liev Schreiber is so good in that movie. Actually, Sean William Scott is it's probably the best and only movie he's ever done next to The Rundown. But yeah,
No,
it's different.
I don't. I was trying to. Was he in the one? Was he in the one with
No, he wasn't. He
Conjoined
wasn't doing
Twins.
my car.
I should pick.
Was he in the
Southland Tales,
Conjoined
which is
Twins
a-
movie?
What conjoins
Was
twin
he?
movie?
with Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear?
Oh, that's what it was. Never mind.
Yeah.
For some reason, I kept picturing him as one of the twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in
Alright, so those are the
Dude
4.
with my Dude. Where's my?
Wait,
car,
what's the
right?
4th movie? I didn't write it down because I wrote down Midsummer.
Gross Point Blank. So Gross Point Blank is John Cusack. He's a hitman, and
goes to his high school
decides
reunion,
to go
right?
back to his high school reunion. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, I would love to watch that again too. Part of me wants that movie to get picked. Very much
I don't know.
so.
I also think Todd has bad taste in movies because he thinks that fucking Moonlight is a good movie, or not Moonlight. Fucking
Moonstruck.
Moonstruck is
You're
a
in the
good movie.
minority on that though.
No, it's a fucking terrible
Yeah.
movie. I'm gonna pick
should've
that.
picked-
I'm gonna pick that next so that everyone has to watch that and
Please
Todd
do
has
it.
to rewatch it and go and then have to sit here and go, oh, that's actually a fucking garbage movie.
No, that's another movie I want to make Amanda watch. So
It's
do it.
Academy Award winning, isn't it?
Unfortunately,
Yes.
not. I don't think the movie. I think Cher won an Oscar.
It was
Oh.
Sarah, yeah, I believe Sarah won.
I mean, the movie still won it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Anyways,
Just like Academy Award winning Suicide Squad.
that's true.
Facts.
Yeah, right.
All the best movies have
Yeah.
Academy Awards.
You can never take that away from them.
Try as we might.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, Todd, I wish
I-
I wish that I could enjoy those types of things without feeling anxious and uneasy. I would love to replay Last of Us 2. I would love nothing more than to replay that game. I don't think I could ever replay that game.
Wasn't Last of Us 1 more stressful to you too, though?
No, Last of Us 2 was like, there were points of Last of Us 2 where I was just like, God, let this game be over. I like the story, I like the characters, I like the game. It's just like there are points of that game where I'm just like, I don't want to fucking do this right now. I just don't like being stressed out. My whole life is fucking stressful enough. When I'm enjoying entertainment, I want to be entertained. I don't want to be fucking living in a fucking hellhole.
Dom, what would you pick if you had to pick a Quentin Tarantino movie? Like, I have the hardest time with this. I like Django would probably be top.
For the group.
Glorious. Yeah, I honestly, my personal favorite Quentin movie is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I feel like a lot of people didn't even really like that much.
I still haven't seen it. I still haven't watched it.
Oh my god, I fucking love it.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Oh my god, it's so good, and I like all his movies, but I think Django, Inglourious
Yeah.
Bastards, pretty much anything Pulp Fiction, like you can't go wrong, and it's just
Oh,
Jackie
Inglorious-
Brown's
Inglorious Bastards is probably the best pick for PTC Movie Club.
I think
To start.
Dad or Django.
I mean, I've seen
Yeah,
Inglorious,
like-
but I mean, again, we can pick whatever we want.
Yeah.
I saw Kill Bill was on TV fairly recently, I think, and
Kill
I
Bill
had it
1's
on.
great. Part 1, I did not like Part 2.
Yeah,
I don't know
but
if I've
anyway,
even watched part 2.
Yeah,
so
it's
part
whatever.
1 was on TV, and my mother had come over, and she'd walked into my room, and she was like strangely enthralled by what was going on. Like she'd walked in right towards the
Yeah.
end.
Crazy Idiots?
Yeah, with the Crazy 88s.
Yeah, that's the best
She just
part.
stood there watching it, and she's like, "Wow." I was like, "Yeah, did not see that." And I was surprised. She's like, "Oh, that reminds me of Bruce Lee." I'm like, "I'm surprised you
Wait,
knew
wait.
about
Picked up on that, yeah.
Yeah,
Can we get her involved in PTC Movie Club? She has
See,
to
why
watch
not?
it. Yeah, right, get her involved.
Should we add Elizabeth to the rotation?
I don't know
Midsummer
what you want.
would be a better pick.
I'd love to find out what her picks are.
Midsummer would be a better pick when things are more back to normal for us, and we could watch the PTC Movie Club in person together.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be when this shines, because then it can be more of like a fuck this movie.
I honestly think Jen would love Midsummer.
Jen is similar to me in movie taste.
Oh, I'm sure.
She
but
probably
I would
likes.
love
She
it.
probably can withstand that type of anxiety and pressure a little bit more. But like, she walked in here a few times during fucking Hereditary, and she's like, "I can't believe you're watching this fucking movie."
I think that Midsummer is very, in some weird ways, very woman empowering. And it sounds weird, but like I feel like she would really like that movie.
I don't feel like that.
Yeah, the
sounds
end of the
weird.
film, doesn't she kill her boyfriend?
I mean, she doesn't, but she basically
Kind of.
Yeah.
She basically embraces the cult and like just like and like the last 5 minutes of that movie when you see Florence's face, you're just like it's like some of the best acting ever. It's like
Yeah.
and literally all she does.
Just
is
fucking
smile.
pick the movie, Todd. I just
It's a
want
good
to.
scene.
I just need to get it over with. It just needs to be done. I need to rip that
It is a
band-aid
good
off.
scene.
I already made it. If you know the ending too, it's kind of ruins. It doesn't ruin
Yeah.
it, but like it's
I would. I'm happy. I know some
It-
part of the ending because I
it
just
takes-
want to
It
fucking
takes a lot of the anxiety out of
not.
the movie.
I don't want to fucking
yeah,
deal with that.
absolutely. It doesn't make the movie stressful anymore. I think if you know the ending.
Yeah.
Like think about the. I don't want to talk about Last of Us Part 2 and spoilers because I've really. I think Mike would like the first game. I don't know about the second game, but I think Dom would like both games a lot.
Wait, do you think like I'm confused about the second game? You think it's like stressful or like
Todd,
minus like
I don't like. I
compared to
don't.
the first like I don't get it. Like
I just don't like situations where I have to feel added pressure or stress. And like I don't necessarily like the combat. Again, like I think the combat in Last of Us Part 2 is like the best combat in a video game I think I've played in a long time. Like it's so well done. But I just don't like being in a situation where I have to feel high anxiety that also has like negative set dressing, like darker
I just think
tones.
the funniest thing about this is I'm probably out of everyone here the most anxious person. That like I might not show it, but I'm hands down the most anxious person probably
Yeah.
out of any person in this group.
I don't know. I
And
just
still
don't.
love all this
I just
shit.
don't. Yeah, I mean, listen. You like what you like. I just don't like being uncomfortable. Like that's just. I don't like to. I just don't like to do that. Like I'm not mad that I watched Hereditary.
Yeah.
It just reinforced that I don't like that type of stuff.
That you don't like it.
Yeah.
I'd like so like there's some horror movies that are like comedy horror movies that I think you would actually like though.
Like
I don't know if that makes
I have danced around with the idea some nights of like putting on something like What We Do in the Shadows because it's supposed to be
that's
really.
not
Or
horror,
no,
though. Yeah.
is it What We Do?
No,
Is that the Taika movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it's straight comedy. It's not like horror or anything. Yeah. It's like there's nothing
Okay.
like that.
I don't know.
You should definitely watch that then. Don't let horror hold that movie back on you because that movie is not. It's straight comedy.
Yeah, but there's plenty of things that I haven't seen or played or watched that like I just, you know, if it has those elements that I don't want, I'm just gonna watch something that I don't know. Anyways,
Wait, what made you watch Uncut Gems then, real quick? What brought that about? Like, Uncut Gems?
because Jen and I have also just on the side have been trying to watch more movies. She has a long list of movies that she wants to watch.
She wanted Uncut Gems.
No, she did not. She actually was mad that I put it on because she didn't want to watch it either.
Oh, so what made you choose that?
I only chose it because part of me was so knowing that it wasn't horror. Like the horror part of things, or like the gore, like horror and gore is where the line gets too far for me. Like, I don't like to see that type of shit. So like, even if it's not a horror movie, but it has like horror elements or has gore, that can be like a turnoff for me.
Gore?
Vor, V-O-R-E. So like that type of thing can push me away. But knowing that like Uncut Gems was just like a high stress anxiety type thing, but not really knowing anything else about, like I knew nothing about Uncut Gems like at all. And I was just kind of, if anything, I was more curious about that movie because I was like, people talk really highly of it. Like I kind of want to see Adam Sandler like in this situation.
I'm mad you say this now. I wish you picked Punch Drunk Love instead of that to watch like a Adam Sandler being not Adam Sandler movie.
Todd, it's your pick.
Or
you
Rain
can
or
pitch
Me.
Punch Drunk Love right now.
I put Punch Drunk. I don't want to put. I've already put that in the road. It didn't get it. Like I think one person voted for that.
You could just
like,
pick the
no
movie, and you could pick either of those.
I enjoy seeing what people gravitate to, though. It kind of makes my picks more fun.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
But
I do want to issue an apology because I did. I don't want to have you upset that I picked the very horror film Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Right.
There are a lot
in real
horror
talk,
elements.
In real talk, the part in the mausoleum where the zombies came out, it wasn't actually scary, but I did feel for them. Like this would be a very difficult. Like they had been very blasé about the fact that they were dealing with ghosts up until that point. But once the zombies started attacking them, and then like they were struggling to get out, and the kid was like, "Oh, there are spiders. I don't want to open this door." It's like, yeah, I get spiders are scary. The undead are literally right behind us. You need to open this door.
He based his fear of spiders off of Ron Weasley. Fun fact.
That makes sense. Although Ron Weasley Ron was already scared of spiders, but Ron had to deal with giant spiders too.
Yeah.
That was a
Brenden, you ever watch Harry Potter? Any of the Harry Potter movies?
yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I think they're garbage.
No, really?
Yeah,
I think what we're learning is that Brendan just has a garbage taste in movies.
No, you need to watch like the Alfonso Cuarón one. He did Children of Men. He did like the third Harry Potter movie, and it's like fucking top tier. It's like a real.
Well, the third one was probably my favorite book.
I think it's a little bit also just I don't really care for the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Like I just don't care about those characters. I don't care about that world that much. I tried. I gave him a shot. I watched most of the movies. Someone bought me the Goblet of Fire as a kid, and I never read it. So.
That was unfair because that was like the biggest of the. I mean, that was a massive
That's
book.
the one when the new Batman dies, right? Goblet of Fire.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
R.I.P.
it's
Cedric
fine.
Diggory.
I don't hate Harry Potter, but I wouldn't consider myself a Harry Potter fan. Like the movies were fine.
That, like,
I saw
read
Deathly Hallows
before.
Part 1 and Part 2 in theaters. I might have seen them with Mike.
Wait, really?
I think Johnny Depp was supposed to be good in
shit, Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
I never saw those movies.
I mean, it was the whole thing with him in that movie was just weird.
So he was in
Deathly
Part
Hallows
2?
was 2 movies, correct?
He
Yes.
He
Deathly Hallows
transformed
was
at the
2.
end of Part 1.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I went to a midnight book release at Barnes and Nobles for Mike to get fucking Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, I needed the ride.
I'm committed to the bit. I just, Harry Potter's fine. It's whatever. I've purchased Harry Potter video games at some point. They weren't good.
Why?
Well, that was a mistake.
That was your fault.
I want to give things a shot,
I honestly think that like it would be a gold mine if and I said this to Amanda when we watched the final Harry Potter movie or whatever, when we read the book. I'm like, oh man, in like 10, 15 years, if they do adult Harry Potter and make it a little teeny bit darker, you can still make it PG-13, but just make it like more like aggressive, that could be fucking really good shit. Like,
I don't know. I think that ship is sailed.
I think it's sailed too, but I just part of me was like hoping that would be something that would happen in the future. I didn't think
You're definitely not getting Daniel Radcliffe to come back.
I think
right.
it's a little. Mike would know maybe better than me, but I think it's in a little bit of a shitty spot right now. That IP, not even just the JK thing, but what weren't the Fantastic Beasts movies not good or didn't do well?
They did.
I think they did fine. I think
they were doing fine. I think the problem is the
JK stuff.
Did they finish that trilogy?
No.
No,
Okay.
I think one of them got postponed because of the pandemic.
But there's
And there's an issue with Johnny Depp right now, right?
There's an issue with Johnny Depp.
He's out.
Ezra
Yeah.
Miller, I think
Mad Mickelson's might be taking over or something like that.
And Ezra Miller was out too, right? Didn't he have a scandal too?
Yeah,
I think he had a scandal, but I think more importantly, he was like just tied up with the Flash too. I'm not sure how that's panning out.
Well, there was a play. They did a play.
They did a play, and I think the play was not well received.
But they're making it into a movie. I heard about when they're adults. So like maybe
it's not really about when they're yes, they're adults, but it's about Harry's kid. It's about Harry's kid,
cursed child.
Cursed child. Harry's kid and Draco's kid. They're like friends. I have the screenplay. I started reading it and I forgot about it. Where the hell did I put that book?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Harry Potter's fine. I don't have like strong negative opinions about Harry Potter. It just they were fine films, the ones that I've seen. I don't think I've seen all of them. I couldn't tell you the plots. Maybe I have seen all of them. I don't fucking know. But it like at that stage of my life when those movies were coming out, I don't know.
Which one's the one where Harry goes to school and then the evil guy shows up and then he ends up having to fight Voldemort at the end? Which one's that?
Let's see. That's 1, 2, 4, 5,
6.
He didn't really fight
6,
him in 6.
7.
I think I like Harry Potter.
He doesn't go to school at the beginning of 7.
He's got good
He doesn't go to school in 7, and Voldemort. He didn't fight Voldemort in 6.
Wait, is Goblet of Fire not the first one?
No, it's 4.
Sorcerer's Stone is the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, Sorcerer's Stone is the book that was purchased for me as a birthday gift. Nonetheless, that person clearly didn't know who the fuck I was.
Yeah. They're like they're not in my life anymore.
Yeah.
Brenden doesn't read books.
I mean, they
what do you think? I'm an English major?
They literally aren't in my life anymore. I mean, Sorcerer's Stone came out when we were in like 8th grade. Well, I don't know about Todd. He's like 72.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. The end of 3, he fights Peter Pettigrew and.
Wait, Peter Dinklage is in those movies?
Yep.
I'm gonna move on from that, and then.
I actually had to think for a second if Peter Dinklage was in the movies.
I don't think he is. He's not in the Harry Potter verse right now.
No. And then in 6, that's the one where Dumbledore dies at the end. But
wow,
Voldemort
fucking
was not
spoilers,
there.
Mike.
I know, seriously.
Is the other movies?
You could have waited 15 years before you told us that?
Are the other movies about young Dumbledore, or he's just there?
He's just there.
He's just there, yeah.
No, yeah. The Fantastic Beasts is about young Dumbledore.
No, he's just there.
He's just there.
Wait, is it about Harry's parents? Who is it about?
No.
Someone unrelated?
It's about the author of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
Yes, the movies are so in the Harry Potter universe. There's a class about Fantastic Beasts, and you have to get a book for that class.
A textbook, yeah.
So a textbook, and the movie is about the guy who wrote the book. He does not write the book in the movies. Like at no point does he do anything.
No, it was a really strange thing to make movies about.
So hold on, Fantastic Beasts is just
Newt Scamander.
Yeah, that's the character's name.
Yeah, but
is it like it's
pull that out.
It's basically fucking Pokemon Snap of Harry Potter, but with books instead of pictures.
No.
Isn't Dumbledore like doesn't they tackle his love interest in those movies?
Yes.
Am I wrong?
So
Yes.
I will explain.
The love interest is an antagonist.
Yes. The antagonist. Yes.
It's Johnny Depp, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
Well, not in part 1.
No, but
it's Colin Farrell in part 1.
Yes.
Okay.
So
wait, so they're gonna change the actor for all 3 of those movies?
Potentially. So here,
well, I go back to Colin Farrell, I suppose.
Yeah. Here's to break this down for Brenden. So Fantastic Beasts. Like,
I didn't ask for this. I don't want this.
I know, but I feel like we're gonna expand your knowledge somehow, right?
All right, Todd. Fucking part 2. Jesus.
So, the movie is named after the book that the character writes, and again, at no point does he do anything to write the book in these movies, because the basic part of the first one's like, oh yeah, he's a guy that knows about Fantastic Beasts. And there's a whole thing that happens, and Colin Farrell's the bad guy in the first one. He's like some rogue, magical agent. And then the end of the movie, you find out that he was actually this other named bad guy. He's like a background character in the original books. He's like wizarding Mussolini or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. And that's when he changes forms, and then he's like, oh, it's actually Johnny Depp. And then Johnny Depp is the bad guy throughout the second film, but now we're all
Johnny Depp the actor is actually
Johnny Depp the actor is the bad guy.
You find out that Johnny Depp is actually the bad guy
movie,
in
the
the
movie,
Harry Potter universe.
yeah, the movie canonically takes place in like the 1930s, 1940s. I believe World War II is kind of happening concurrently with all this. So yes, it is Johnny Depp, in fact, in the 1940s, who is the bad guy.
Yeah.
And he used to be like friends and potentially lovers with a young Albus Dumbledore, who was played by Jude Law. Keep this clear. Actor Jude Law plays Dumbledore. Johnny Depp is just the bad guy. I forget which part of these things is a lie. Oh boy.
I loved wizarding Mussolini.
It would have been a low-hanging fruit to just say, "Oh yeah, he's like wizarding Hitler." No. Wizarding Mussolini. There you go.
I don't know what's happening anymore. But thank you for
This episode of the podcast is my favorite episode. We got wizarding Mussolini. We went into the history of Harry Potter for some reason.
Yeah, that was confusing.
This was the thing that Mike thought.
10 minutes on Harry Potter. I don't understand.
Mike loves to not have to talk on the podcast. Mike just chose to talk about that.
For 10 minutes, he gave us the history of Harry Potter.
It was worth it for all that. Honestly, let's go back to Ari Aster for a second. No.
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
If Ari Aster were to direct a Harry Potter film, what do we think we'd get?
A garbage movie. I don't know.
No. If there were a movie about, let's say, Sirius Black breaking out of Azkaban, that could have been right up his alley.
I don't even know what that means. You could just be saying words right now, Mike, and to me,
I said wizarding Mussolini not 3 minutes ago.
What if it was a movie from Aragog's perspective?
Are you're gonna sully the Tolkien verse with fucking Ari Aster?
I couldn't remember which giant spider it was.
Yeah,
I picked the wrong one.
I think it's Argog.
Oh, I thought you said Aragorn.
Oh no, okay, it was okay. There was a giant spider in Lord of the Rings too, right?
Shelob.
Okay, so I did pick the right one.
Come over here and fucking tell me. Come over here and tell me what's what with Lord of the Rings. All right, Lord of the Rings. Different fucking.
You said I was sullying Lord of the Rings, and I picked a giant spider, and I wanted to make sure I picked the right one.
Well, you said Aragorn.
Aragog.
Oh, I thought you said. That's why I thought you were talking about Lord of the Rings. So you said. Yeah. I thought you said Aragorn. I didn't know there was a spider in Harry Potter called fucking Slob on My Knob. So.
Yeah.
Brenden, now's a perfect time. We did all this movie talk to transition to the best bowling game ever.
Yes, please. That's where I've been trying to transition us for. Let me check the clock. 30 fucking minutes. I don't want to keep this episode going too much longer, and I've already.
You didn't want to transition during Big Lebowski?
I know, but hey,
we could have transitioned a long time ago during literally any topic, but before we wrap things up, I did want to briefly touch on. I know I mentioned at the top of the show that I had written my thoughts on ForeVR Bowl as well as put up a video review. But Mike and Todd have both also been playing this game. Todd definitely more than Mike, but
nonstop.
I think if you guys have anything you want to talk about in regards to ForeVR Bowl, which is an Oculus Quest exclusive, now's the time.
Exclusive.
Yeah, I'm blown away by the game because I wasn't expecting much from it, and I'm that weirdo that's been in a bowling league for 15 years, and because of the pandemic, that bowling league ended.
Mm-hmm.
So picking up this game was probably the best thing that's happened to me as far as these kind of games go, because we talked about this when you first started playing. You're like, I don't have much room. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, I cleared my whole living room, and I'm literally I need Amanda to get a video of me. I'm in full form, like I'm bowling at a bowling alley, like literally like stretching my whole legs. Like I remember, I think it was a night that we ended up playing together, and within a matter of 10 minutes of playing, I was like, I don't think I can play anymore, guys, because I bowled for like 3 hours today. And
yeah.
I can't feel my chest. It's like I can't feel my chest. It hurts. Like this doesn't feel right. But no, the game's fucking great. And honestly, the best thing, and I'm sure you'll attest to this, is how many different balls you can get, and the balls look so good, and the graphics
so good.
in the game is so good. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear your take on it and hear how much you're loving it, since you like actively bowl in a league and like love bowling. And like, I've bowled plenty of times in my life, but like I wouldn't consider myself like a bowler. But I think the thing that's like, obviously you're in VR, so like everything you're doing is like what you're, how you're playing the game. But like, for what the game is, where it's a bowling game, there's like very little gripes I have with what you're doing in that game. Like, there's no single player, like, you can play alone, but there's no, like, you know, campaign or, like, tournament type, like, you know, whatever mode. So, like, maybe someone could be feeling a little salty about that. Maybe that would be a knock to that person. But I think the bowling is so good in the game that, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, if you want to bowl, like, this is what you should be playing if you want to bowl.
And it's like you said in the review, the only bad thing about the game is multiplayer, that we are not lined up.
Yeah.
And that's like, and it's still workable, but like I would love for it to just be like, it's your turn, you're boom, you're in the
Yes,
spot
exactly.
you normally be when you're playing.
Or
And
just
that's
have,
something they can fix.
yeah, or just have, like, the ability for us to, like, each of us are just in a lane, even if we're still taking turns bowling,
Yes.
like we're just in a separate
Yeah,
lane.
if we have like, let's say we had 4 people, it should be like 2 people in this lane, 2 people in this
Yeah.
lane, and that's like rather than waiting for everyone in the same
Yeah.
lane.
But like, aside from that, like, minor gripe, like, that game, I mean, for me, like, it runs so good to the point now, like, where I've been playing it now, I've moved a little bit more space, so I'm doing the same thing. I'm like fully extended, fucking throwing. And now that I've been doing that, like, I've noticed, like, little tweaks of, like, trying to spin it, like, you can, like, really fucking spin that shit and, like, and get good velocity and good, like, you know, late lane
so
spins.
Inconsistent with it though. I can't get consistent with
Yeah.
it. It's tough, but it's great. It's such a good game.
What have you been thinking about it, Mike?
Yeah, it was fun. Issues that you mentioned, you know, also with me. I also, maybe it was just a personal problem with me. I didn't like
How tall you were?
how tall I was, and I could not fix that for the life of me for too long. And it was on me, obviously.
That was an out of game thing though. That was Oculus.
It was an out of game thing, but you would think that you should have the ability to adjust your height within the game.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue most games, unfortunately, don't have those types of things in them. At least a lot. Like, I feel like I've played a good amount of Oculus games at this point, and I think the VR space in general has a lot of weird issues that a lot of the games suffer from. Like, they aren't. There are little things that every game I think should be doing that most of them aren't doing.
Are VR devs, like, I don't know much about this. Are VR devs like newcomers to the gaming world, and this is like their first go?
No, a lot of VR teams that I've looked up, and, like, I believe, you know, the people that worked on this game at ForeVR Games, I believe they're all, like, they come from other, like, it's like a group of people that come from other studios, and like they have experience in the gaming industry. I mean, obviously, I'm sure developing a VR game compared to developing any other game is a little bit different, but
ForeVR Bowl does what we complain about. I mean, does the right thing on what we complain about a lot with VR games, where, like, we were able to just get into a match with each other.
That's true. The grouping up works. Grouping up works very easy and great, and we can be in an Oculus party chat and stay in the game, which most games don't let you do that, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
So, like, it does have most of the issues that we complain about literally almost every Oculus game. This doesn't have those issues, which is great.
And most of these games, they're always updating, and there's always new stuff. So I'm sure we're going to see some great stuff.
I mean, there's already 2 levels slated to come. There's 2 new alleys coming.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
So those are coming. So I'm sure at some point they'll probably add more bowling balls and stuff. But you were saying, Mike?
Yeah. So my height thing, and also I think just when we're playing multiplayer, when I look at you guys, like, your frame rate drops, at least for me.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that with anyone else.
It looked weird to me.
Yeah.
You guys were moving choppy.
The matches that we were playing together, again, this could be internet. This could be a lot of different factors. So I don't really know where it is, because outside of playing multiplayer, I don't have any of these types of issues. But what Mike is saying, like, there was a point in time where, at least for only Todd's avatar, like, Todd would disappear for me, but, like, Mike would be fine. But again, that could just be, like, internet issues. Who knows? But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it wasn't ruining the game for me in any way. I just couldn't see Todd's body, which, I don't know. He's wearing a fucking tank top to bowl, so who cares? But yeah, I mean, I'm loving it. Like, this is a game that I will, like, hop into from time to time and just get a couple of sets down, just because it's really enjoyable. Like, it gives me that, like, quick hit of bowling. Like, it feels like I'm going bowling, which is great.
Yeah, like we were all freaking out about like Wii bowling, and this is
Mhm.
like blows that out of the water, you know? Like
Yeah,
back in
this
the day.
this I think is the best bowling game currently available. I don't
Oh yeah,
like
100%.
on any platform. I think this is the best bowling game available. I wished Dom had a headset because I know Dom also likes to bowl. And I'm sure he'd have a fucking ball with
We
us.
should get a headset. They're actually cheap. Was it $200 for a headset? I don't even remember.
I don't remember. Something like that.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
I'd
we'll
argue
go-
that for not everyone that is cheap, but
no, of course, but I don't know. If you're into gaming, though, I think it's cheap. If you're a gamer, I think that's pretty fucking cheap. And the games are cheap itself for the Quest.
yeah.
I mean, like if you have a PS4 or a PS5 or any of these things, you're spending a lot more money on that than you are on.
Yeah, no, I
anything
get that. But you're also getting completely different experiences on a PS4 or an Xbox compared to a VR headset. Like if Oculus was your only choice, like if you had to pick between having only an Xbox or only an Oculus, I don't know if that's a easy decision to make.
Game Pass ruins everything, so you know.
All right, well then a PlayStation and an Oculus. I don't know if that's an easy decision to make.
Yeah, because if you have a PlayStation, then you can just get a PSVR, and then you got the best of both worlds.
No way I could ever go back to wires. There's
It'd be
no
difficult to
possible
go
way.
back, but
Yeah.
if you're
There
if
is-
you're
yeah,
just
no, I
going
know
into
what
it,
you're saying, yeah.
then
I mean,
That'd be wrong.
I don't know that that's an easy thing to make, Mike. That's a PlayStation for $500 and a headset for another $200+,
And who knows? how
plus
much
Move
PS5
controllers, which do
VR
not
is
come
gonna
with the
be.
headset.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
gotta
very
fucking
that is
get
a
online.
very expensive investment. It's still cheaper than PC VR, but it is still a very expensive investment. But I mean, I'm happy that we got a chance to play that, and I mean, I'm going to continue to play it. That I can't wait to play more. I've played it like almost every day since we've gotten the codes for it. So
Yep.
it's definitely in my rotation pretty heavily right now. I'm excited to play more of it as it continues to go. I'm excited to just slowly open up new balls and stuff too, because
That's all. I mean, that's the biggest draw.
I kind of want to see how some of those high level balls, like if they do crazy stuff to the lanes and stuff when you throw them. But yeah, the only other thing I want to touch on really quickly before we wrap things up, because this episode's going crazy long, is I got a code for Biomutant, and I had only played the first hour of that because I haven't had a lot of time this week to play more of it. But I played the first hour. That video will be up on YouTube in a few days or tomorrow. We'll see. But so far, I mean, for the first hour, I'm enjoying it a lot. I think this game has a lot of potential. I'm excited to see how the combat evolves. I'm excited to see where the story goes and how the world kind of opens up some more. I will say so the first hour, I pretty much played it was mostly the prologue, beginning of the story, and like a lengthy tutorial kind of teaching you what's going on and how to like use combat and all that stuff. One of the things that it did that I don't think I've ever seen in another game that has similar combat, and I think more games would benefit from having this type of thing. So the combat is like, you know, A jumps, B dodges, X is your gun, Y is your melee attack. And you can combo together all of these things to do strings of combos, like you would in like a Batman Arkham game, or like you would in, you know, like a Devil May Cry game or a Bayonetta or something like that. But what this game does when you start opening up new moves and like bigger combos, for some of your special moves, if you're doing a string of that button input, on the bottom right of the screen, it'll pop up with like the name of the special move and be like, if you press this button or these two buttons next, you will do this special move. And I wish more fucking games that had this type of combat did that, because like, if we're being honest, a game like Devil May Cry, I can't remember all those fucking combos.
Yeah,
like
no
I have
way.
no idea. So like that little thing popping up being like, oh, press X and then Y next and you'll do this move. I'm like, please, I wish more games would fucking do this, because I
100%.
don't fucking remember any of those combos in a game like Devil May Cry. Which means ultimately, like, in a game like Devil May Cry, I'm fucking mashing buttons half the time because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know, and for some people,
That's probably why we didn't give a shit about the last Devil May Cry.
yeah,
to be honest
I
with you, you know?
I don't feel like memorizing some of those combos. I mean, I didn't like that game really overall,
I didn't either.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. Obviously, it's early on in the game, so we'll see how my opinion changes and grows over time. But I will say I am excited to dig more into it. My initial impression of that game right now is very positive. I'm very excited to see how it goes. So, have you had a chance to touch it yet, Dom, or not yet?
No, I haven't.
So,
did anybody else watch the Sonic Direct?
yes.
I think I only watched a couple different trailers. I didn't watch the entire thing.
Bro, if you're not giving me a sequel to Sonic Mania, then get the fuck out. I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit about Sonic.
I'm gonna get that Sonic Classics collection.
What is this, like all the old games or something?
1, 2, Sonic and Knuckles, and
Honestly,
Sonic CD.
I think, or maybe it was 3D. It was either 3D Blast or CD. I can't remember.
Sonic Mania is literally.
Oh yeah, 3D is in there.
Okay.
Sonic Mania is like a retread of like all the old games, just like the best parts. Like
Yeah.
it's really good.
And then a new Sonic game next year. Those are, I mean, besides the animes and stuff.
I wish we saw more about the new Sonic game, because I'm curious to see what that is.
Are you excited about that though? Because whenever they release,
I'm not excited about Sonic. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love if a Sonic game came out that I thought was a good game came out, because like I like Sonic as a character. I like I like that world. I like those characters. But
you getting a Sonic iced out chain?
I know, right?
I mean, I don't know.
That was one of the weirder merchandise things I've ever seen.
All I keep seeing all over Twitter is fucking Adam Sandler holding up, holding up a fucking one of those like Sonic's face. I don't know. I mean,
that Tails one looks good.
I'm happy that they're doing stuff for Sonic's 30th anniversary. He's a huge IP. I mean, he's a recognizable, been around forever.
They did more than Zelda, so maybe Sonic is the
Zelda's not over.
No,
you'll see.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you. I'm not on Sonic.
No, but I'm saying, like, I think we're gonna get more Zelda stuff this year. I think that's like a no. I think
I've heard rumblings.
We're getting the the game that's coming out, and I guarantee you that's the only thing we're getting this year, unless we get like the new Breath of the Wild 2 with the new Switch if it gets announced, and
There's a lot of rumblings.
Yeah, I mean, I even outside of Breath of the Wild sequel, like I think at the bare minimum, we're gonna get a lazy, here's a collection of maybe Ocarina of Majora's Mask. Here you go. Like, and not even the fucking necessarily the 3DS versions, just the N64 versions. Like, I think we could potentially get a Mario 3D All-Stars laziness port.
Oh God, please don't.
But I think what we're going to probably actually get is just the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports from the Wii U. Like, I think there'll be some other things that get ported for the anniversary.
I'm cool with both of those, though, because I really enjoyed both of those games. So
I'll buy them again.
Yeah.
I would like to replay Twilight Princess.
I'm excited for Skyward Sword. I want to play it again.
I think it looks terrible, but like whatever. I just think it doesn't look entertaining, and then like the gimmick with like the amiibo shit, like I just think that's
it's
something
kind of frustrating.
That's a quality of life. That's a quality of life update that should be implemented.
I agree with you on that. But like that's
it's just like fast travel in Wind Waker. I don't understand why they didn't just add it.
Exactly, 100%. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want to hit this 2-hour mark. We're already at a minute.
Yo, let's do it.
An hour 48. We should wrap things up here. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this week's episode 260 of the Pass the Controller podcast. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to help support the show, the easiest way to do that and the freest way to do that is to follow us on social media, like the podcast on social media, share the podcast on social media, subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform, and leave us a review wherever you can leave podcast reviews. I know Apple Podcasts has that ability, and we would very much appreciate it if you could drop us a review over there. If you do have a few bucks kicking around, want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com, buying yourself a shirt. You can go to patreon.com/passthecontroller, become a patron, or you can subscribe to the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you want to keep up with me, you can find me at BGrim. You can find Mike at _MikeOpath. You can find Todd at Toddy_by_nature. And you can find Todd at PTC. Sorry, you can find Dom at PTC_OneLittleSpark. And I forgot again to mention that on June 12th, Saturday, I will be streaming for 12 hours to raise money for myasthenia gravis. So if you are around on Saturday, June 12th, feel free to pop in. Show us some love. Drop some money if you can, or just share it on social media so more people can show up. That's all I got. Thanks for listening. Episode 260 of the Pest Control Podcast. Until next time.